the Citroen Picasso, the bush is gone, but instead of changing the bush, I'm going to change the whole arm, a wishbone or a control arm. I'm also changing the disc and pads at the same time, and it's going to make it a bit easier to get to things as well. So I'll show you how I'm doing it. I've got the car jacked up, axle stands. There's a jack and axle stands on both sides of the car, so the whole front end's lifted up. I'm going to start with taking off the caliper, these two bolts, and then take off the caliper bracket with the two bigger bolts. It's easier if you turn the steering, it just helps you get onto it. Take these bolts out. I'm going to push the piston back into the caliper using this wind back tool. I'll just get this in here, doing it one-handed. These are more for the back of the car, but it also has this thing for, you know, like the kit's got all the ones for winding back the handbrake type, but this also works fine on the regular pistons. So you get the idea, that just goes all the way back in. Next I use a T55 to take out this brake bracket, the two bolts that hold that. I'll get the top one with both hands again. Now that that's out the way and the caliper's hanging up there, I'm going to take out these two T30s out of here. Oh, and I didn't even need a hammer on that, it just came out. There's only the one on there. Get the disc out of the way. Probably could do this without taking the brakes off, but because I'm doing them anyway, I just thought it's easier to do it when that's out of the way. Now I'm going to clean this up, the bolt and the nut on this side. So a 16mm nut and a 17mm bolt head. And I'll take that pinch bolt out of the hub, the swivel housing. And then I can get the ball joint out. That was tight on the other side. I've already done the other side. So I'm also going to have to take this off to get the drive shaft out of the way. Because you can see why I'm doing that is because the bolt will come out there. But it's not going to come out that side very easy because the drive shaft's over it. So that's why I'm moving the drive shaft out of the way as well. Just take this out first. Now I've just got that one to take out. But first I need to clean it up because it's covered in mud and a little bit of rust. It's not too bad. A little bit of rust. I'll give that a good clean and spray it with some WD. If I can find it. There it is. Let's give that a good soak. And these nuts that are under here, 21 mils, there's two of them, they're going to have to come out as well. That's it off. Now I'm going to use, although this is the side with the nut, right? That's the side with the threads. I'll put that back on there to get the nut out. No, I won't. There. Fell out in the end. I'm going to use a socket, 17mm, on the head side with the impact right there. I know it's not got any threads, but it's just to break the rust so that I can then get it out. I remember once trying to explain that to somebody. They can understand why I put an impact on the side that doesn't have threads. Well, that's why. It breaks the rust and it'll be easier to knock it out now. If you find it hard to turn the steering, just go to the other side, the side that's got the wheel on, because you get more leverage turning the wheel than turning this. And by bringing the steering this way, you've got more of a pivot, you know, it's more out the way. I don't want this drive shaft out, I just want it out the way, because I don't want to lose the gear oil. I've got another one of these hanger or hook, and that's got the axle out the way, kind of like the caliper. So now I've got enough room to get the bolt out of here. Now all I've got to do is take the two 21mm nuts out that are at the bottom, and then it should come out. Front one came out no bother at all. Well, the nut came off. The back one's just spinning. So I've got a T45 that goes in the center of the top of the bolt. Now I can take the nut off the bottom. It's on exactly the same at the head. This one, well, that might just be a washer actually that's come out with it. But this was the back one. The smaller one that was at the back of the car. The angle of this drop link and the anti-roll bar, or the sway bar, that really gets in the way, because you need the bolt to go up and down there, and because of this, the wishbone can't go in straight. It wants to be at an angle, so you can't get the bolt to line up straight. So you do need to lift this out the way. What I did last time, and I'll show you just now, I put a jack under there to lift it up a little bit. What I'm going to do to get the back in for now is use this lever and just put it on the metal part, the tubular bit in the center, right? And then I'm going to hit it in with a hammer on the end of there, and that'll go in. I've done that. I'm going to do the same idea on the front and hit the tube with this. And that'll just, not on the bush at all, or the rubber, just on the metal bit, and just tap it in on the end of here. Like I said, it doesn't line up because of the angle of that. So what I'm going to do is just, with the jack under there, just going to lift it till it's straight. It does move the strut at the same time, because it's all connected. The drop link's still connected. I didn't do it, so that gets it level enough to get the bolts in. Okay, I need two hands, but you see how easy it is to move it about now. So I need the two hands to do it though. Easy with two hands. That's both bolts gone right the way down, so now I'm just going to move this jack out of the way. If I can loosen out again, I need two hands. I've just moved the jack out of the way. The bolts are already in, dropped right down. I've just got to tighten them up. Because of the design, it doesn't matter whether you fully tighten it now or when the wheels are on the floor, because the way the bush goes up and down. So you can just go ahead and tighten it right up now. And then you know it's done. Now we can put this back on to here to save the boot, and just get the drive shaft in here. Put the ball joint on. It's almost there, it's almost done. Then we've just got the brakes to do. Now I'm going to hit this until the bolt hole lines up. Just gently underneath. That's not bad there. Okay, now I can get the bolt back in. So that's it tight, checking it everything with a ratchet when I finish, or a torque wrench if you want to torque them. If you've got a rough idea what they are, or what they should be, you're okay without a torque wrench. Trying to get this done before it rains again. Just got the nut and then the brakes to go on. So that's it built up. Just wash everything down when you finish. New brake disc, you don't want any of the grease left on them that it comes with. And make sure the pads are free to slide, and the sliders move on the caliper, and piston goes back okay, all that good stuff. Lubricate it with some brake grease, on the bits that slide back into, and behind here you don't need to plaster the whole pad with it, just this on the inside, because that's the only bit that's going to make contact, and that should stop any screeching and squealing from the brakes. But that's it done. Just got the wheel to go on and tighten them up. Hopefully that's helpful to somebody if you need to do your wishbones or control arms on your Citroen Picasso. Maybe other cars that are actually the same. It's probably very similar in other cars, so thanks for watching.